Hello and welcome to another episode of Gumbo Live. Here's your host, BJ from Board Game Gumbo.
Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here.
Back in the Gumbo Pot.
It's Jay Bell.
And it's BJ.
And we're here tonight to play some games. But before that, we didn't stream last week with you, Jay. Why is that?
I was not here. I was not in town.
What'd you do?
I went to Louisville, Kentucky to visit some friends.
Home of Denny Crumb.
Sure. Is it
Did that go right over your head?
Muhammad Ali also?
He is actually from Louisville,
Okay,
Kentucky.
I didn't know that until I got to the airport.
Yep, I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah. Home of Kentucky Fried Chicken, I guess. I don't know.
It is.
Okay.
By the way, you know that guy, Colonel Sanders, supposedly never fried a piece of chicken until he was in his 70s, and yet we all know Kentucky Fried Chicken. So whenever you hear that I'm 29 and I haven't even got my life started, that guy didn't start his life till he was in his 70s that we know about. Yeah. But you played some games while you're there.
Yeah. I went to visit a loan shark and her partner Taco. Yeah.
A loan shark? Like an actual loan shark?
No.
You owed money?
No. You know what that is, right? She hops in our stream sometimes.
Oh yeah, your buddy. Yes.
Okay. So I went to visit some board game convention friends, and they're big Cardinals fans. So we went to a cards game. We went to the zoo also.
You're talking about the Louisville Cardinals, right? The college team. Got it?
Yep.
That's
and we played a lot of games.
Papa John Stadium, I think, right?
Yes.
I think it's
used to be. I think it might be Adidas now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Changed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And so you went to a football game, and then you played some games. You played anything good?
Yeah, I played a lot of good stuff, actually.
Give us one game, because we do have a special guest here, Barnes.
Why am I a special guest? I exist.
You haven't been here in forever, Barnes.
That's not my fault.
But I want to hear about Jay's game, and then we have a game that I want to hear about from you, because I haven't played it yet. That's your fault.
Yeah. Man, if I had to pick just one, I would say Forests of Pangaia. That's probably the one I had the best time with. Forests of Pangaia.
Forests of Pangaia.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
So this game is, how do we explain what the mechanics are? You're like placing out trees onto this communal board, and I guess you're trying to like order fulfill. Like you have to place your trees in a particular format, either like a path or like a starburst.
So it's definitely spatial puzzles then, right?
Yeah.
Or
and everyone's sharing the
space.
You're
communally putting the trees out?
So on your turn, you have like this list of actions that you go through. And so like you have this cool little wooden forest spirit, and they put seeds down, and then your seed grows into a tree. And the trees are what you're using to fulfill the public and private objectives of like have a path from the mountain to like the desert sort of situation, and based on the path you get more points. Or if you have like a starburst, it's like the taller your tree, you get more points for the starburst. It's really cool.
But it's definitely competitive.
Yeah.
A little take that?
A little bit.
What's that competitive game about the trees that we used to play years ago? Remember with Bradley? Photosynthesis? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I played photosynthesis.
How does it compare to photosynthesis?
Different from photosynthesis in that like there's no sun that's sort of giving you shade or anything like that. This game is just kind of multiplayer solitaire, except the space that you're on is shared, but you can still use your opponent's things to help you score.
Okay.
So,
how about Bosque? Have you played Bosque?
I have not played Bosque.
The tree game with the leaves that throw it out. Yeah. Super mean game.
Oh really?
Oh my god, that is
because you like push leaves, right?
You're pushing leaves around, and you're trying to have the most. You know, it's typical air majority, so everybody's pushing all the leaves all over the place, and just when you think you have a plan, somebody pushes the leaves a different way. So the only thing that was weird about the game is it's kind of in two stages. The first stage is setting out all your little, where you're going to be trying to score, and then the second part is all the pushing. So the thought process of remembering all the strategy you had whenever you're putting out all your things in a hidden fashion was kind of blew my mind, but it was fun. So, and Forest Shuffle. How does it compare to Forest Shuffle?
I haven't played that one yet.
Oh, but you
I hear it's great. No, but I hear it's really great.
So this is Forest of Pangaia.
It looks like Pangaia, but it's
Pangaia.
Pangaia.
And who makes this game? Do you know?
Oh, so let me see if I can see it on the box.
Don't worry, we'll edit
But
all
I think
this out
it's
and post.
pretty new. I'd have to check on BGA, but yeah, it's
Kickstarter type of game?
Pangaia. I think it did recently fulfill on Kickstarter, and I actually have some better pictures of it. So this is like the little forest sprite that you have. Mine was like a giant rock creature,
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
so
That
you're
looks like the
sharing.
tops from that looks like the tops from Earth.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah.
similar?
They are similar. They're a little bit
Show
bigger.
Barnes. That picture looks like all the little tops from Earth, the Inside Up game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's cool is that the board is completely modular. So there's like 4 different regions that at the start of the game, you randomly shuffle them and place them out. So you're going to have to like switch your tactics based on where things are in
So it could be different every
relation to each other. Yeah.
Oh. Had
Yeah.
you ever heard of this game before?
No,
Did
no.
introduce it to you?
Yeah.
I'm interested. I did get to play Earth this weekend with
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell. Mitchell taught it, and I had only played it on BGA before, and I thought it was completely boring because it's a game where when you play, you take your action, and everybody else can run their engine based on the color card that you pick. So if you pick a green card, you get the stronger version of it, the Race for the Galaxy type thing, but everybody else gets a benefit. But unlike Race for the Galaxy, it really has, you might have 3 or 4 or 5 actions in that turn playing off of somebody else's turn. So wow, keeping track of, Jay says, I'm going to play red. And then everybody goes, oh, great, I'm going to do all these things until it comes around. And then you play, I'm going to play green. Oh, I get all these things. There's a lot of that action that you're waiting on. And on BGA, can you imagine if you're playing turn-based, which is 99% of the games I play?
Yeah.
It's like Jay takes an action, then I come and I get to play one little action. And then it's got to go all the way around until it comes back to me. Oh, that is too much. Plus, I didn't understand the game. So every time they asked me, do you want to switch this out for whatever
Soil.
it is? Soil? Yeah. I just said yes. So I kept burning everything I had for soil and ended up with no points. So.
Yeah.
But I playing it live, I completely dug Earth. Number one, I love engine building games. And that is about as pure an engine builder in a long game.
Yeah.
I wasn't that big of a fan of the art, I guess, because it's just pictures of Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it
Those
wasn't.
natural photos.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just like it didn't really strike my fancy because I really like to see artwork. Although I think the box is stunning, but the gameplay itself, oh man. By the way, I wish every game. I kept asking Mitchell questions, and he's like, I know you're busy, but you could just look at the bottom of the board.
Yeah.
Everything is on the bottom of the board. It's got one of the best player boards where you just literally look and it answered all the questions that I kept asking anyway.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I just kept asking. All right, so Barnes, you're in the courtroom now.
That's bad.
Before we put them
Oh,
on the spot,
wait,
I did look it up. Force of Pangaia is the first game from a company called Pangaia Games. They're a German company. This came out last year. So
Came out last year. Who are the designers? Do you know?
the designers
I wanna hear
are Marcel Domke, Domke, Chris Karbach, and those are the artists. The designer is Thomas Franken.
Okay, Thomas Franklin. Yep,
Doesn't sound
I
familiar.
was a big fan of his monster. Barnes,
I don't know how to follow that up. I mean, that was just that was a winner right there. I mean, I think I lost IQ. I may have to find that later.
speaking of monster, are anybody backing fromage?
I'm not like a big Euro cheese
That
kind of
looks
guy,
pretty good.
but the Lazy Susan in the center is really
And
interesting.
everybody
looking.
playing their. It's sort of kind of simultaneous. I'm intrigued.
I'm very
I'm
intrigued too.
intrigued.
Don't look at me. I'm currently waiting on things to finish fulfilling before I back in.
You've got some stuff already.
You're deep in the
Yeah,
hole
okay.
already.
Yeah. So until that finishes up, and then on top of that, I mean, there's at least one Kickstarter that's done that I haven't done my pledge manager for. That's probably going to be about $100. So
Anything you want to talk about, or are you
just
trying to hide it from Bradley?
No, just hero realms. I mean, just hero realms.
Oh, hero realms. Yeah,
because they put out they put out a miniature dungeon with the most recent one. So like they have a dungeon run you can go through in a session. So
that's the same company that makes Star Realms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's backing the whole Star Realms thing, right?
No, I'm backing the Shards of Infinity.
Sorry.
Well, sort of same designer. Originally same designer.
Justin is involved in all of that?
No, Justin just does Stoneblade and Shards and Ascension.
And Hero Realms
then
is...
Rob.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, I did play Hero Realms with you, the cooperative version of it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Well,
Hero Realms Adventures or something like that?
Yeah, I've only played the competitive version a few times. It's fine. I mean, honestly, I honestly feel like Star Realms is a better competitive game, but the cooperative version of Hero Realms is really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I actually did enjoy it. Although, if I'm comparing games, I think I liked playing To Set a Watch with you better than the Hero Realms cooperative game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Set a Watch is fun.
Yeah, and I did back the expansion for Set a Watch. So.
Oh man! Oh my god!
Yeah, I messaged them when I backed it because they always have like a comment section. I was like, can we get like a bigger box for this because we're getting a bit up there.
There is a lot of stuff. Did Rock Manor Games respond at all?
Not that I saw. And I was going to go see them at Gen Con, but I just didn't have time this year. I was all over the place. So.
I got to get this worked out, but I think they want to come on the show in the fall.
Oh, cool.
When we get Gumbo Live kicked off again. Cool. I think Mike from Rock Manor wants to come on. But
good, harass him about getting a bigger box.
Barnes has a question for you from the audience. We need a bigger box.
We need a bigger box.
Yeah, the To Set a Watch is going to be at Sobo, by the way. The big full, whatever the latest thing is from To Set a Watch.
Well, it's only the 2 expansions so far. So it's the base game and the 1 expansion, which was the Swords expansion. Which
it's one of the guided playthroughs.
Oh, good.
If anybody wants to do that.
That'll be nice. So
you should get a ticket.
That would require me to go to Sobo, and at the moment, I was not planning to.
All right, so you're on trial now.
I am on trial now.
You're the key witness.
So to give background to those people who don't know, many months ago, I game napped Oltréé from Barry.
He did.
And I have been jealously guarding it ever since, hoping he would forget that I had it, which he did for a long time.
I have never forgotten.
And then remembered spontaneously.
I have never forgotten. You've just been busy lately.
So anyway, basically the way the game works is it's a cooperative game.
Rosemary said, hey. Yeah. I guess she's watching the stream. Yeah. So
where everybody is basically playing a ranger. You have been given a writ by the king to go rejuvenate this fortress and help secure the village around it. So you've got a couple of things that you're doing. There's a village around that can give you resources, give you other things that'll help you out. But each one of those village tiles has problems that you have to deal with.
Okay.
Sometimes they're problems that are come up over the course of play because they don't start there. Those problems, you cannot use the tile for resources or anything else until that problem is resolved.
Oh, so I was thinking it was like Shadows over Camelot. No, it actually has stuff that can be benefits to you if you don't resolve those things.
Yeah, and the things that are bad, because the thing is that if you're not dealing with the kind of like the quest cards that are in each spot, it's the best way to put it, so it's easy to understand. If you're not dealing with the quest cards in each spot, they'll build up to a lose condition.
Oh, okay.
So there's quest cards in each spot which do not block the village tiles, and there's also problems that come up, and those problems do block the village tiles, and you have to work on resolving both of them.
Which one you have? Are there a particular order? Do you have to do the problems first?
No, there's no particular order to them. Okay. It's just if you want to use the tile, you have to get rid of the problem cards, and then you need to work on the quest cards.
That makes sense.
In order to secure areas, you have to clear out all of the quests, and then securing areas gives you benefits. On top of doing all of this, you have to rebuild the keep.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, and rebuilding the keep gives you benefits. Benefits of rebuilding the keep are you get extra dice on checks because the entire game revolves around you making skill checks.
Okay.
You have characters with special powers. Each one of them has a skill they specialize in, which gives you a die for that skill. Everybody has a die for every skill, which you get from the keep, and then a die for your specific skill. Now,
one of the things I don't like in some games is when you rebuild something, but it still can be attacked, and then you spend all that time and resources, and then you lose it anyway. Does Oltréé have that, or once you fix it, it's permanent?
There are that kind of thing can happen, but it's later in the game usually, and usually fixing a building is a much easier process than having to rebuild the thing, because most of the time buildings are not out now destroyed, they're just damaged, and you just have to take an action to repair.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's not too bad. And one of the characters can repair buildings for free. So like if she's in there, she can just take one of her free actions and repair a building. So it's there, but it's not as horrible as it is in other games.
I love After the Empire. Our friend Evan.
Yeah.
But it is so frustrating when you spend all this time and effort to build this big old stone thing, and the Marauders knock it all down.
You got to know it's going down.
You get to, well, what if you're relying on the chat to help you do the game though, and you say, "Okay, chat, I'm going to do whatever you say," and they say, "Leave the north wall completely unexposed."
But and the way the game works on top of that is it's all scenario based. The scenarios come in either short or long variations.
Oh, that's cool.
And then each scenario basically, so there's the game board has a timeline that you progress through, and that dictates what happens on the turn. That's kind of like the progressing bad stuff from Shadows.
Okay.
So, and basically your timeline is either going to progress you to the next chapter of the story, which has huge ramifications, is going to put out new quests, new troubles, or just have other problems you have to deal with.
There is no hidden traitor like it.
There's
potential hidden traitor like in Shadows, right?
So I've played the
Everybody's
game.
working together.
Yeah, I've played the game a few times, and the game is way too tight.
Oh, is it really? It would be hard if it was a traitor.
The first time we played, we failed miserably.
Oh, wow. Who are you playing with?
Me, Bradley, and Carlos.
Oh, well, that's probably why then. You need to be in J there.
So, because the issue is that you don't know what the end condition is going to be. The victory condition is hidden from you until you get to the last chapter, so you have no idea how to win. Your goal is just to build up enough resources and be able so that when Lost Condition shows up, you are prepared.
And you don't know what it is.
Mm-mm.
How many different ways can you prepare?
So it depends on what the condition is. Sometimes it's collection of resources. Sometimes it's you have to make like 10 of these checks and you have to pass every one of them. Like you don't have to pass everyone. Like you don't have to make all 10 and pass, but you have to make me going all the way around.
So there's enough variability that you can't like try to secure every possible.
Yeah, and there's no way to do that on the timeline because the timeline just progresses, and the timeline can jump because how fast it progresses is based on a die roll. And that die roll can be no movement and repeat the current action you're on, or jump movement, which means you progress 2 spaces. So it can be really varied in how long you have, and you never have enough time to do everything.
Right.
However, there are main like story quests that you're trying to do, and those story quests give you tokens that usually help you on the last thing. So they're worth trying to do if you can get them together.
Do they give you a little hint as to what's coming up?
You kind of get an idea of what you're looking at because like the quest I've done, the story I've done a couple of times has like these minions that come out that cause some problems, but the end of the game is harder if there's more minions.
Do they talk in funny language?
No. They sound like lawyers because they're demons.
Okay. Touche. I was going with the overalls and the funny.
Yeah, I know, but I had to.
Yeah,
it was right there. But so that's the hints they give you because like besides just existing, like they don't really do much. They just kind of exist and are kind of annoying. But it's like, oh yeah, but at the end, if these things are out here, your final check is harder for everyone that exists.
Okay, and you kind of figured that out.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, what you're trying to do is just have enough stuff around that whenever it comes up, it's like, okay, we can quickly do this or this or this. We can pivot into whatever it is. So it's very much a game of, managing what people are doing. Because you can't have, like, everybody building buildings. Because everybody building buildings means you're not clearing quests or something.
Yeah. So you do have to kind of specialize a little bit. Each person takes something different.
Kind of does something, yeah. So it's honestly a really good game that if you like those scenario cooperative style of games, especially ones that can be a little on the tight side and require you to really think think a little outside the box, they do really well.
Is it? Does it have like an overarching story that it's going through?
Not that I noticed.
And we did have the promo one. Did you play the promo one with
I did
rats?
not. That's the rats one. I did not play
okay,
rats.
Yeah.
Because there's one that involves a dragon, so obviously I wasn't going to play rats.
Yeah. Play the dragon before you play the rats.
But the thing is that if you do the long scenarios, I mean, the long scenarios can take a few hours to finish, and so it feels like running through a story all on its own.
Okay.
So
interesting. Jay, verdict?
I mean, it does sound interesting.
Try, buy, or deny?
I mean, I'll try
you
just
would
about
try
any game once. Yeah, I was when you asked me this morning, I was like, I don't think this is what I want to play today.
The theme is not really grabbing. You're not like a Knights of the Round Table kind of guy.
Yeah, that's not my thing. But I mean, I was impressed with the components. It seemed like it'd be cool to like have your little person that's roaming around.
Well, because it's not they're not standees. They're actually like little wooden.
Yeah,
Tell me about
big
the
wooden
production.
pieces.
Tell me about the production. I remember opening up the box and being very impressed, but that was a month or two ago.
So the production, I mean, most everything is just cards and punch outs. Your actual characters have like wooden standees or like little wooden characters that roll around. They're nice to have. The only problem I have with them is that they're not super distinct from each other, which makes it kind of an issue sometimes trying to figure out who's is who. Which
do they have colors assigned to them?
They do, but the problem is that the colors they have assigned to them are, I mean, because there's like 10 characters, 12 characters, something like that. And so there's only so much palette range.
That's true. Yeah. That's where you need an expert like Jay Bell to get in there, man. So this is Antoine Bozai, if I remember right. And maybe it's somebody else. Yeah. I'm trying to remember who designed it, but it's been a while. When I was really deep into the hobby and Seven Wonders came out and I loved it so much, man, I started playing all of his games and there were so many of them that were so good. But it's been a while since I've played a game where I'm like, wow, where I got excited about Antoine Bozai as a designer. I'd love to see some more games that got me excited, like Takinoko and Tokaido, Seven Wonders, and all these games. They were just so many good games back to back when they came out.
Yeah.
So that's a try for you.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely want to try it. I've been wanting to play it. You guys played without me that the first time.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it that night. I think Dave was there. No, it was Carlos and...
Yeah, no, Dave was there.
Yeah, Dave was there, yeah. I missed out on that one. So
whose fault is that?
It is definitely my fault. I had something else planned. It stunk, but at some point I definitely want to play Oltréé. So
we'll get there.
And you were telling me that there's an expansion.
Yeah, they had an expansion at Gen Con. I know literally nothing about it. I didn't even know they were going to have it at Gen Con.
Why did we invite him again? I'm trying to remember.
No, so I didn't think it was coming out till later this year. So like I didn't expect them to have it.
Were these advanced copies at Gen Con? Is what it was?
I'm not sure. Because like I said, I hadn't been paying attention to it because before I went to Gen Con, I was like, man, I could have sworn the last thing I heard about this, it was going to be like October, November. So I was like...
Still the same theme?
I wasn't looking for it. Yeah, but it's... I believe it's Undead is the expansion. Introduces an Undead scenario.
I remember doing a little research, and it's not something that you and I would know, Jay, but apparently this is a big theme in Europe. Some kind of IP, maybe a TV or a book or comic book. I think it's a graphic novel. Oltréé. I think it's a big graphic novel.
I could believe it.
Hello.
It's not the first time I've
we got a first time chat. Welcome in. Ariel?
Let us know if we're saying that right. Thank you for dropping by.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Undead and Alive is the expansion, which is...
Undead and Alive? Oh, I like that. That's a good play on words. Yeah. We're talking about Oltréé that Barnes got to play, and I'm the verdict is in. I think we got 2 tries.
Is that an L or an I? It might be Arlisle.
Arliel. Nice.
Okay.
Arliel. Thank you for coming in.
What are we playing today, BJ?
Ariel, see, your problem is that there's not enough vowels in it for these Louisiana people.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
You need lots of vowels. Yeah. There's no EAUX either. You know what's been fun, man? The BGG Stats app now has all the little scoring sheets for tons of games. That's been fun to do.
Yeah. I stopped, like, right before Gen Con. I just was like, I'm not tracking anything anymore.
Oh, no. I still track. Yeah. But I love this little score sheet thing because not every game has it. This particular game does not have it. It just has a generic score sheet.
Yeah. That's cool.
So let's see, 12 and 8. I got 20 points. That's terrible.
I didn't do much better.
Barnes got 21, so you did do much better.
Yeah.
And let's see, 19 for Jay?
Yeah?
No, 29.
I wasn't sure, honestly.
Nicely done.
Cool.
Jay is the big winner.
That's weird.
Waffle
I don't even
time.
like waffles as much as pancakes, and I beat you guys at waffles.
You did.
No, this is cool. I mean, honestly, I love that there's a good bit going on. Like, there's a lot of different ways to accumulate points, and the board is ever changing. But I didn't even pay attention to it because I was just trying to make the thing. Like,
yep.
And I like that. That like it feels like a game because whether or not I won, I didn't care. It's just like putting all the ingredients and trying to get points. I don't know, it made fun.
There's two things that I really like about it. Number one, you can chat while you're playing, although you need to really pay attention, but you can also chat. I also like the fact that it makes it cool. I like any kind of game that looks cool at the end of the game, like New York 1901.
Yeah.
And this has that. I mean, whoever, when you make your board with all the syrup sticking up, it actually does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the cream there too. So,
yeah.
Nice, puzzly, chill, and it only takes 30 minutes. So super simple.
That's cool.
I'm a big fan of it. All right, that's waffle time from our friends at AEG. Barnes, any thoughts?
A lot of it's fine. It's this, like I said, it's quick. There's a lot of puzzly aspects to it, which are nice. The only thing I don't like about it is, once again, there's a rules question there. The cards are a little fiddly at times, just because we had at least half a dozen questions about cards and which ones we had to do.
They do have explanations in the back,
and that's fine. And then honestly, like, the theme just doesn't grab me.
Yeah, it's not a waffle.
Like,
if it were pancakes,
it's not even about waffles or pancakes. It's just,
what if it was a Denver omelet?
These kinds of tile placement games usually don't grab me. Like, I don't play a lot of Azul. I don't play a lot of any of those. Like,
and Jay and I love those kinds.
Yeah, and
I don't know about Azul, but
they're fine, but they're not super high in my book. Like, it's never something I will just immediately go find. Like, I'll play it if it's there, but it's never.
Name Father has a good question. Even though you may not have had a winning waffle, Barnes, did you feel like you built a powerful waffle?
Absolutely.
And that's waffle time from our friends at AEG. I want to thank Barnes and Jay for playing it. Until next time, as they're